Hello everyone, I am Sai Charan from the team Code Crushes again, and now we are going to do a simple calculator app. In these days, we commonly know that calculator is a basic need to everyone. So now we'll build a simple calculator which does addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operations, very basic operations. We'll build an app doing these operations using HTML and CSS. So let us start. Let us do it in the VS Code. So as the code is somewhat big, so I have divided it into sections so that and I'll paste every part in this file and explain the part to you and simultaneously show you the output so that you can understand it very precisely. So let's start. So this is VS Code and I have already created the files and that I have named it as calculator.html to avoid any confusion in case. So let's go with the first part. So the code starts with doc type HTML declaration, which specifies that the document is an HTML5 document. This tag HTML, it is a basic tag which is present in every HTML code, and the HTML element is the root element of every HTML page, and the head section contains the meta information of the document, such as the title of the page and the reference to an external CSS file where which we'll link afterwards. So then let's go with the second part. In this second part, and also inside the head section, there is a title bar, means title tag that refers to the title of the web page. And then here the link tag is used to link an external CSS file to the HTML document. The CSS file is used to define the styles for the calculator, where means if you write only the HTML code, you will view a skeleton of the means a very basic output of the calculator. So if you add CSS to it, you can somewhat beautify it and make it look good using good effects. So now let's go to the third part. Actually, the body section contains of the visible content of the web page. So the calculator interface is contained within a division element. This div is known as the division element, where the class of this division element is called as container. So inside the division element, there is another division element uh, with the class calculator that represents the calculator layout. Calculator layout is defined using the form element. So let's go with the next part. Inside the display, the division element, there is an input element with the type text and name display. This input field is where the user input and results are displayed. So the calculator buttons are organized in several rows. I have divided it into 4 rows. So each row is represented by a division element, and also the buttons are created using the input element here, where elements with the type where the type of the elements is button, where means it will be visible in the output as buttons, where you can click it and perform various operations, and different values corresponding to the numbers. So let's go to the next part. And also these buttons also contain operators and special functions. So let's go with the next part. So here the AC button clears the display as by the setting value to an empty string, and the DE button over here, it deletes the last digit or last value of the input which you have given from the string. Here the dot button appends a decimal point to the display, where we have given the class of these as operators, which will perform the operations, of course. And let's here we have given these buttons, and in the next division element I have given some inputs as numbers and a multiplication operator, which depicts the second row of the calculator. So let's go with the next part. So here I have in the next division element I have given the same it consists of the same code, but I have changed the values as 4, 5, 6, and I have added here a subtraction operator. And let's go with the next part. And in this division element, it contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, and addition operator plus, which performs the addition operation, and rest of the code will be same. We have used this input type as button because the calculator contains buttons, so the output should also contain buttons. So we have kept these buttons using the HTML, and this on click display value is, if we click on the button, it will display the value 1. So this is the purpose of this on click. Let's go with the next part. In the next section, this is the last section, and in this division I have given some buttons where most of the calculators have as one is a two zeros and one is a single zero, and other I have given I have given equal to symbol and with a display value, and I have given a function over here, a command, where the display value will be the evaluation of the operations and numbers you have given in the input. So, and this class is equal operator. So, and after this we are going to close every tag. So overall, this code sets up a basic calculator interface with buttons for numbers, operators, and special functions, and also provides the functionality to handle user input and perform calculations. So let's go live. Till now, let's see the output, what we have got. So now this is the output we have got. As I have not given any CSS values, so therefore it will display like this only. And after we complete the CSS code, will get a beautiful output. So let us perform simple operations like, let's say, 45 plus 68 equal to. So you can see here, you can see over here that it is showing the output, means the calculator is working. Now let's go to the CSS code and let's style it. So let's go with the first part. So this is the first part of the CSS code. The star icon. The star is a selector which applies the following CSS properties to all the elements in the document. So like resetting the margin and setting the padding to 0. And we have also given font family as Poppins, and also using the border box. And using the border box, uh, this border box is used to size the elements inside the calculator, like the buttons are the elements, you know. So, and here the dot container. This class styles the container division element that wraps the calculator. It sets the width to 100% of the viewport width, the height to the 100% of the viewport height, and sets a background color of this. I have given a random color. So, and this it also, actually this, I guess this color is a blue shade, and also it uses flexbox to the center, means it displays the calculator at the center of the page, and also it aligns the calculator vertically and horizontally in a container. So let's go to the next part. So the next part, the dot calculator class. This class styles the calculator layout division. It sets a background color to this, which is also, by the color we could say it's a dark blue shade, and also adds padding to 20 pixels, which I have given these commands. So um, and it also applies a border radius of 10 pixels to give the calculator round corners, means it shouldn't be a very like a box type. So it should be in some style. So the UI is very important for any project. Let's go to the next part. So in the next part, the form dot display, and also sorry guys, and in this part, the dot calculator form output division, the selector targets the input elements within the calculator layout. It removes the default border and outline styles, sets the width and height to height to 60 pixels, and applies a border radius of 10 pixels, and adds a box shadow to give 3D effect. The background is set to transparent and the font size is set to 20 pixels, and I have given a white color to this, to the font size, to the font, and the cursor is changed to a pointer where hovering when hovering over the buttons, and a margin of 10 pixels is applied to create some spacing between the buttons, because it shouldn't be too congested and it should be easy to understand. So I have set this margin to 10 pixels to give minimum spacing between the buttons. And the next class, the form dot display, this target selects the display area of the calculator. It sets the display to flex and justifies the content to flex end, and also aligning the text to the right side of the display. Means if you enter a number, it will start from the right side. We can do that by using this justify content flex end, and also it also allows the input field to flex and take up the remaining space in the display, and also sets the font size to 30 pixels, and font size to 30 pixels. And let's go to the next part. So this is the last part, where the form input dot equal, this selector targets the equal button specifically and sets its width to 145 pixels. This makes the equal button wider than the other buttons because it is easy to locate, and also it is the button which we frequently use in the calculator. This makes the equals button wider than the other buttons to accommodate its label. Means to with to specify it precisely. Yeah. And this the last one, the form input dot operator selector. This selector targets the operator button specifically and sets the text color to I have given this turquoise like color. And this is the overall CSS code which defines the visual styles of the calculator, including the colors, button sizes, font styles, and layout positioning. So, and this is the whole code. Now let's run the whole code. So this is the output you get, where you can see the equal to box is somewhat larger because I have set it into 145 pixels than the other buttons. And these are the rows which I have designed. And this is the area where you get the input. Like let's say 89, no, let's say 88 divided by equal to 8. So it gives the answer. So if you don't want this, delete. There are multiple values. If you want only these four values, apply the delete button. So it performs the delete operation. Like it removes the last digit. And if you want the input box to be empty, click on the easy button. So this is a basic calculator app which performs multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. You can also set decimal values. Let's say 9.8 plus 3.6 equal to. So it gives the answer 13.4. And again, I'm clearing the input box. So by this code, and we can create a basic calculator app. So thank you guys, thank you for the cooperation. This is Sai Charan from the team Code Crushers signing off.